Alright y'all, you've been asking and we've been listening. Let's make a layered metallic puff t-shirt using our VTS 3D metallic puff. We're going to be pairing it with Siser StripFlock, Siser Glitter, and our Siser custom printed leopard print. We are going to be working in Siser Leonardo Design Studio. I use a Leonardo Pro version on my Siser Romeo cutter. I am loading all of these materials in matless, which is a beautiful thing about this machine. I rarely use a mat, and I love how easy it is to load each and every one of these vinyls in. We're starting off with our base, which is going to be the black Siser StripFlock. It cuts it seamlessly because there's preset settings in the cutter, which makes it so much easier to choose which one you're cutting. A couple things that I love about this cutter, not only that it cuts matless, but it is so fast and precise. You can load it from the front or the back. You can use any mat if you do choose to use a mat. It does not have to be the Siser mat that comes with it. You can basically use any mat. So that could be cricut, it could be silhouette, it could be the solo, it can be any cutting mat. So keep that in mind, which is really cool because other cutters only allow you to use their specific mats. Something important I want to mention: when you're cutting patterned vinyl, you want to make sure that you're not mirroring and cutting pattern side face up. This is super important because there's special steps that you have to take when working with pattern heat transfer vinyl. So as you can see here, that's exactly what I'm doing, is cutting pattern side face up, and I'm not mirroring. So it's just cutting this out, and we're later on going to show you how to work with that pattern vinyl. Pattern is one of the only materials that is a two-step. Last, we are cutting our VTS 3D Super Puff in metallic rose gold. As you can see, it gets super close to those edges, but because there's a feature that allows you to see if you have enough material, I do know that I'm going to be fine. So it cuts perfect. I'm getting everything finished, and I unload everything, and we go bring it to the weeding station. I am using our glitter pin and getting to weed out everything. I'm showing how I weeded out the pattern, and we are using Siser TTD mask. I like the high tack mask. They do have a low tack as well, but I prefer the high. We're also using our Siser squeegee, peeling that carrier sheet away and applying that mask onto our pattern. Just like a permanent vinyl would, how you need a transfer tape, this one just has to be heat friendly. So that's exactly what we're doing here, is we're applying that onto our pattern and getting ready to press. So I'm squeegeeing out any of the air bubbles and just making sure that those two products are adhered correctly. This is my favorite squeegee because it has that felt tip on it, which allows for smooth gliding. Another tip I like to mention is I like to peel the old carrier sheet away from the new TTD mask. Because that pattern's been sitting on there, it tends to pull away easier when you pull the old piece away. So now that we're all transferred and ready, we're going to show you a preview of what the t-shirt's going to look like. I always like to do this to make sure that all of my pieces are going to match up before I press. I'm just lining up all of my vinyl and making sure that everything fits. I'm starting off with the glitter, then adding that pattern, and lastly putting on that puff. I absolutely love this rose gold metallic puff. I think it brings every design to life. It is so pretty. So now that everything is ready to go, we're going to start to bring all of these materials over to the press. I have my press set to 315 degrees for the glitter and the flock. So I'm starting off, and I pre-press to get any moisture out, and then we're going to go ahead and lay our flock down once everything is pre-pressed and the moisture is out. That is our base, so we always start with our base. We've gone ahead and pressed. We pressed for 10 seconds. I'm peeling off the carrier sheet here. And keep in mind that flock is thicker and that carrier sheet sometimes likes to be pulled when it's warm or cold. I sometimes get impatient and try to pull it when it's hot, which is why it was sticking to the shirt. So we're going to go ahead and put that pattern directly on top of the flock. And we're pressing at the same temperature. We're doing that 315, and we're tacking everything down for 10 seconds. So you're going to see me again piecing everything onto that flock base, which keeps everything nice and centered. It's got that beautiful base that makes everything perfect. I really like adding an offset for that reason, because sometimes I just don't know if things are going to match up when I press. So now we are pulling off each of those carrier sheets, and we're going to toss those and add the metallic puff. Now I'm adding each layer of the metallic puff because I had to cut it into 2 pieces. The Dream and the Babe are 2 different pieces so that they're not going over any of the other vinyl. I am going to add a cover sheet for the final press, but as you can see, I don't really use a cover sheet unless I'm working on bare puff. So it is best to wait for a cold peel for metallic puff. I pressed this at 280 degrees for 10 seconds. I am now cold peeling that carrier sheet away on both of those, Babe and Dream. And we're going to take our Teflon cover sheet and place it over our full t-shirt and press again for a final 10 seconds. This is the step that ignites your metallic puff and ensures for a beautiful puff. I'm pressing again for 10 seconds. Once you pop that heat press up, you can peel away that Teflon nice and hot, and bam, you are all puffy and ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions at all, please drop them below. All the material that you see here can be found at vinylandtoolsupply.com. Thanks for watching.